Hey, this is David, the Retirement Gnome. Welcome back. I thought today I'd do something a little bit different. A lot has changed in Boldin since the turn of the year from 2025 to 2026. So what I want to do is walk through some of the changes that have taken place that we can see on the Boldin change log, because Boldin is constantly uploading features and changing and improving. At least we hope they're improving. Sometimes not. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at what's changing. Now, first of all, understand that some of the things we're going to talk about are only available if you have enabled the beta features. And I'm going to quickly talk about how you do that. If you go up here you click on the account settings right there. You see the L for Lloyd lender amount and my fake person here. You go to account settings and you go to click on beta. You'll see, hey, do you want to opt in for early access to beta features? You turn that on. What it will do is it will activate the current things that are in beta. And right now, what you'll see in beta, it shows spending guardrails and estimated spending. These are two things that have recently been added. So we're going to we'll talk about those. If you want to see what has happened recently as far as updates to the software, you come up here in the corner, you click on support, and you go down to release notes, and you'll see what is happening. And these release notes go all the way back to, way back in time. They go back to January of 2020, so a long time. These guys have been at it for a while. But recent updates. So let's talk about what happened in January. So what's happened? Well, let's start at the bottom. January 21st, they updated the information in the right-hand panel of the accounts, the home and real estate, and the rate assumptions sections to provide you with a more relevant and guided experience. So if you come back over to the account and you look at accounts, home and real estate, and rate assumptions. So you look at accounts, and you see on the right-hand side, they've made some changes, added some charts on that side. If you look at home and real estate, again, over here on the right-hand side, you'll see what has changed here. Compare housing decisions. It just points you to the scenario manager, gives you a little bit of more information. And then the other one was, what was the other one? The other one was rate assumptions. So if we look at rate assumptions, over here on the right-hand side, what they've done is they're showing you graphs of projected net worth and lifetime income. So not huge changes, just changes I guess they hope make things a little bit better. They also on that day released a change to the effective federal tax rate calculation to ensure that it factors in capital gains income and associated taxes. So can't show you that, but what they've done is they've updated the calculation to more accurately calculate your taxes. So if you're using Boldin and you saw a change on that, then you know why. On the 26th, they updated the information on the right-hand panel of the expense section of the planner to provide you with more relevant and guided experience. It is the same kind of thing they did with the others. So if you go to the expense section, you'll see over here on the right, they've got kind of a pie chart, and also they've still have the estimated expenses bar chart. On the 27th, they updated the right-hand panel of the debt section of the planner to provide you with a more relevant and guided experience. So they've done the same thing also with debts. We have no debts currently in the plan, but that shows up over here on the right. Also on the 27th, they released a new My Plan chart in the summary so that you can more easily visualize your financial future. So if we go back to the My Plan, let's go back to the summary and we'll see the My Plan chart. So go to the summary and you see this chart here that says My Plan. And what's new about this is it shows your projected net worth across the length of your plan. And it shows the milestones that are supposed to occur along that plan. And they may populate this with more data later. So it's a visual representation of what was already being presented in a textual manner. On the 29th of January, they added a new Roth Conversion Explorer strategy, which allows you to limit conversions to deductions only, 0% federal income tax. So, in these videos, we haven't talked about the Roth Conversion Explorer, but we will. And that video may be available now if you're coming to this a little bit later. But if you go and you run a Roth Conversion Explorer, what you'll see is you can now limit conversions to deductions only, 0% federal income tax. So used to be you got, well, let's go back over here to the, let's go to the Explorers. So if you come down here to Explorers and you go to Roth Conversion Explorer down here on the bottom, well, I haven't set up an account yet for you to do, but what you would have done is if you could have gone in here and you wanted to look at, use their Roth tool to see what kind of conversions were available, they would show you that one of the choices was to bracket your Roth conversions. I only want to spend up to the 12%. I only want to convert up to the 12% tax rate. I only convert only up to the 24%, to the 26, 22, 24%, and so on. What they've done is they now have gone and added essentially a 0% tier, which means only convert up to what deductions allow. Okay, so that's it. So that's just a minor tweak that they've created. Here's some things they've got in process that they're working on. Adding a spending guardrails insight to show you the amount you can safely spend in retirement, helping you to stay on track without risking your savings. Well, if you are already a Boldin user and you have turned on the beta, like I showed you, the participation in beta testing, and you click over here on Insights, there's an option at the bottom with the beta label next to it called Spending Guardrails. And you click on that, and it will calculate for you, what the amount of money that you can spend based on a guardrails type strategy. And we'll get to this and we'll talk about this later. But that's something they're working on right now. It's just in beta. It's buggy. It's been updated several times. And so if you're currently in the beta program and you are using guardrails, just remember that this is going to be changing frequently. For instance, just in the last few days, the guardrails calculation showed you only essentially your discretionary spending. It said, hey, we're taking into account taxes and healthcare expenses and so on. Here's how much you can spend on a monthly basis as a discretionary. Now they've changed that, and now the number includes everything. It's your gross spending, not your net spending. So like your number might go from 8,000 before, and now it may show 11,000 a month or something, and that's because it's now including everything in that number. So, and more changes are coming, I'm sure. And let's see, give you better tools to model expense changes over time with stages that can be easily adjusted up or down to see potential impacts on your plan. So, okay, interested to see what that's going to look like. Develop an AI-powered financial assistant to empower users to better financial decisions based on the Boldin model. Well, the AI assistant is functioning. It's this little symbol up here in the right-hand corner. You click on that and you can ask it questions. I really like how the direction that this AI tool is going. You can ask it natural language questions and it gives you natural language answers. But it is currently, I think, half-baked. It hallucinates a little bit and gives you stuff that, well, it's not quite ready for prime time, but it's made a lot of progress. And finally, they're working to update state rates, brackets, and standard deductions for 2026. They finished the federal updates. Now they're working on the states with the new state information. And since there are 50 states, that's a lot of updating that has to be done. So I think that's it. So that is the what's the latest in Boldin changes for the month of January 2026. I'll probably, if there's another month where there are so many changes, I'll come back and I'll do another video maybe at the end of February or the end of March saying, hey, look at all the stuff that's changed, and we'll stay kept up. Okay, until then, I'll catch you next time. This is Retirement Gnome. I'm out.